Hi guys, welcome to the kitchen of just doom and disaster tonight. I should have said messy kitchen and showed you what this place looked like 20 minutes ago. So I gotta tell you, I have real issues videoing, and I have done so many pours lately where my camera is popping in and out of focus and it drives me nuts, and I'm sure it drives you nuts. So I haven't really been able to share anything. So tonight I got all set up. I'm trying to keep things nice and clean, and it was the most catastrophic disaster I've ever had. In 3 years of pouring paint, I've never made so much mess in my life, which is quite ironic because my whole goal was to keep things tidy. So I put down plastic tonight so that I didn't have paint everywhere. And I washed all my mats and all my pots, and I had everything all nice and tickety-boo. And I slipped on the mat, hit the table. I hit this, which flipped up, hit my camera. This whole thing went flying sideways, covered in paint, hit my wall, which has wainscoting on it. So you know what, all the little grooves and wainscoting. It was a nightmare. It's taken me over an hour to clean up my mess. My kitchen chairs are covered in paint. My floor was covered in paint. My wall, my window, everything. Just a complete disaster. Okay, so let's get on to some serious business. My base coat, and my dialogue was terrible because I muttered up everything I was trying to tell you. So my base paint for the swipe is Glidden Essentials mixed with a super big scoop of Valspar Ultra Deep Base, just to give it a little bit of body. My first color was Paynes Gray. My second color is TLP Seaweed. Color number 3 is, I've had, it's just been, you know what, for every video you guys see, I bet you I do 4 that you don't get to see because they're just a nightmare. And yeah, when you think everything is beautiful, no, it's not. There is many epic failures. So this is a pretty citrus color from the dollar store. We're going to throw that in just for fun. And then this one is Jaquard in the green-blue duo. And on top of that, we're going to put a little bit of metallic blue cobalt mixed with TLP and Lakeside. And what else are we going to do? You know what? We're going to throw a little bit of white in here. This is just titanium oxide white mixed with pouring medium. And I'm going to try to get some, maybe just some cool black cell edges. I don't know. I'm just experimenting right along with you. All right. So we're going to swipe it out with black and maybe black and white. We're going to load it just right on the palette knife. We're going to get rid of that hair. Yeah, it's been just a nightmare for pouring. Like every possible thing in the last 3 days that could go wrong has gone wrong. My pours are okay. That's not the problem. The problem is the video. The problem is the cat yelling at me. The problem is just ongoing. Okay, black and white swipe, my friends. All right, here we go. All right. Now, let's see if I can spin this. Nope, without hitting anything. I can't. So I'm going to tip it because I'm not going to go through the whole paint pouring mess of spinning again. Now, I'm one step ahead of you. Look at these cool cells. That's the just black swipe on titanium white. So I've already poured out my base coat onto my tile, and tonight we're going to work on the premise that bigger is not better. It's just bigger because everything I've done in large size, I have made a big mess. So my base coat is basically a dirty cup. It's just a dirty cup pour. Looks like this. It's every color that I scraped up off the last couple of pours that have hit the window and the floor. And then we're going to take our swiping card. Let's play war, you guys. I have the 9 of spades. All right. I'm just folding my edges so that it makes a little scoop. The real pros don't do this. They can just do it with a palette knife. I cannot. I cannot. So we're going to just scoop up some of these fun, cool shapes and colors, and then we're going to put them down. Hopefully I have made this base coat thick enough, but who knows. All right, guys, here we go. Transfer swipe number 1. Now we need to get a little bit of color in here, I think. So let's pick up, I really like that section. All right, oh, let's go in here. Why not? Because I've already laid down paint there. All right, let's spin this out, hopefully without having paint everywhere, but who knows. Here we go, guys. Okay, well, I'm a step ahead of where I've been. I don't know what the video is doing, but at least the tile stayed on. The tripod didn't fall over. I didn't fall into the paint. It's all good. I'm gonna scoop a little bit more of this up and spin it some more. So I've had a lot of questions on the modifying and a lot of requests for videos. So we're gonna modify this in the same fashion that we always do. I'm gonna spin it again though. Once more. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm thinking and looking and just pick up a little bit of this. So I don't know if we'll get all the way through modifying, let's modify the tile, modifying together because my camera is just about done for the night and it's telling me it needs to be charged. So we're gonna do as much of this as we can. For people that have joined my channel that are new, thank you so much for joining with me in the messy kitchen. And my modifying tool of choice is a toothpick. That's it, fancy little toothpick. So as always, guys, we are just going to go in and make some little lines. So we're going to start at the top on this piece and just pull it in that way. Don't have to be symmetrical. I actually prefer asymmetry. I don't like things all matchy-matchy. I like things in sets of 3 as opposed to 2s and 4s. That's just me. So there's our first little line. So then we're going to go back in through the middle and just super, super gently pull some of these colors through. I pushed too hard there and I brought up the white, which is what I didn't want to do. But my base coat is pretty thin, so I probably don't have a lot of choice to not get it, but that's just little lines like that work. I don't know what, let's try some white ones. Not very contrasting, the white, but makes some pretty cool effects. So as always, contrasting lines look the best, but that's pretty fun. I kind of like that. Make them squiggly. You can make them nice and straight. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to take this section this way. I hope my head's not in here. That's the other thing I've done all week. Put my big head in the middle of everything, and then you see my messy hair. Not that I care that it's messy. I have to take my gloves off for this because I can't swirl. So here's my second favorite tool for anybody new. It's my toothpick, and I've just crazy glued a bead on the end. So the little curlicues, it's the same as always. Just gently place it down and pull it up as you swirl. That's as simple as that is. You can go back a few minutes later. Give it another half a twist if you need to, if it's not holding its shape. Sometimes if it's not holding its shape, it's because your base is too thin. And I just find if I thicken up my base, then it works. So basically my swipe mix base is exactly the same consistency paint as we use on our bloom pours. So you all know that it's quite thick compared to other pours. So I've made my swipe base quite thick. That's it. We're just going to keep going in and just embellishing, making little lines. Yeah, in all the years that I've been doing this, paint pouring, well, not pouring, I've only been pouring for a few years, but I've been painting for probably about 5 years now in general. And I used to paint a lot with palette and just paints and brush and palette and sponges and whatever. I have never made as much mess as I made tonight. Guaranteed. Just a complete epic disaster. I don't really know where to go here. My indecisiveness. Let's make some more white flowers. Let's make some little white flowers up here. So, wiping off as I go, I'm just wiping on my hand, on my glove. You don't have to wipe off. If you leave your paint on, we'll leave this one on, and then we'll come up and we'll go in this way, and it kind of makes these funky little stamens for your flowers. We'll do another one over here. And then that automatically got done for you by just leaving your paint on. It's better with more contrasting colors and on a white background, obviously. But I don't like to waste paint, so I'm quite happy to scoop everything up. All right, let's just keep going with some little swirls and see if we can spiff this piece up a bit. So when you swirl one way, it makes circles if you're on a horizontal piece or a vertical piece. If you want your curlicues pointing down, swirl clockwise. If you want them pointing up, swirl counterclockwise. So these are going to swirl down like that. White's quite interesting. Didn't exactly hold the lines the way I was hoping it would, but it's quite pretty. I'm just gonna keep going on this. So your paints are really versatile, you guys. You can move them and push them around. They really will sort of take a beating. This is my exotic flower, this one. So this little line, little squiggle starting to kind of just sort of soften a bit. So we're just going to go back in right now. Get a bit of a twist. "15 minutes. Let your paint set up. Hit them again, half a twirl, gently, and they're perfect." All right, so I am going to do something in here with this, and then I think we're just going to shut this all off before it shuts itself off for me. So let's just pull some of this through. Give it a little spin. I kind of wish I had done different colors on the blue gray. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you here. I might start again. The more I look at this blue-gray background, it's quite pretty. It has some really soft striations of color in it, but it needs a little bit more of a solid pounded in color on top of it, like a contrasting color in maybe reds and oranges on the blue-gray background would be super, super pretty. So I'm going to love you and leave you here. We're gonna fingers crossed that this whole video isn't out of focus or my fat head's not in the way, and I'm going to say goodnight. And I'm probably going to pour this again, but we'll wait and see. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me in the messy kitchen tonight. I really appreciate you guys all being here. You are so encouraging and so supportive. You guys are awesome. All right, my friends, pour happy, stay safe. We'll talk really, really soon. Bye for now, guys.